This is a perfect 15th century masterpiece. The brushwork is delicate, the subjects are noble. The story it tells is ancient, except it's a lie. And so is this one, and this one. They're all perfect lies, painted by the same master, a master who never existed. He was a genius. His crime wasn't faking a painting, it was inventing an artist. But even the most perfect lie eventually unravels. And he is unraveled because of tiny, almost invisible mistakes. Today, we expose the beautiful lie. In the early 1900s, the art world was buzzing. From the small, dusty shops of Paris, never before seen medieval masterpieces began to appear. Works of exquisite beauty, all attributed to an anonymous genius. A previously unknown master, likely active in Spain around the year 1400. The world's greatest museums, from the Louvre to the Metropolitan, began a treasure hunt to acquire his works. The wealthiest collectors competed to own one of his illuminated manuscripts. Experts celebrated his style, his technique. There was just one problem. He never existed. These are not medieval artworks. They are the most brilliant forgeries ever created. And today we're going to do what detectives have done for years. We are going on a hunt for hidden clues. But before we expose the deception, we have to understand how it was built. His brilliant strategy was built on 3 pillars. 1. Ancient materials. He didn't paint on new paper or parchment. He hunted for real 15th and 16th century books and carefully scraped away the original text. This gave him authentic 400-year-old blank canvases that would pass any superficial examination. Number 2. Artificial aging. He was an expert in faking the passage of time. After completing his miniature, he would put it through an accelerated aging process. He induced realistic cracks in the paint, created moisture stains and abrasions in just the right spots, and was even said to have used bookworms to create fake insect damage. His works didn't look old, they felt old, they even smelled old. Number 3. The innocent sale. This was his masterstroke. He never presented himself to a museum or a major expert. He sold these creations to small, unsuspecting antique dealers in Paris, often spinning convincing tales, pretending to be the agent for a noble family that had fallen on hard times. He let the experts, blinded by ego and the thrill of discovery, find the treasure and authenticate it themselves. He didn't fool the museums, he let them fool themselves. While the world was celebrating the Spanish master, there was one person in New York who wasn't convinced. Her name was Belle da Costa Green. She wasn't just the director of the J.P. Morgan Library. She was a force of nature. As the daughter of an African-American activist, passing as white to survive in high society, Belle had learned from a young age to see beyond appearances. She had a razor-sharp intellect and an eye for art that was unforgiving, an almost supernatural instinct for authenticity. She looked at the works of this master, and while everyone else saw genius, she saw cracks in the story. She noticed a sentimentality that felt too modern, a style that was too eclectic, as if the artist knew the art history of too many different countries. And it was she who planted the seed of doubt that would eventually bring the entire house of cards crashing down. Once exposed, decades later, experts gave our ghost his definitive name, the Spanish forger. And now we're going to do what Belle did. We will become detectives. Here are the 4 clues that close the case for good. Number 1. The anatomy of a lie. Belle's first suspicion wasn't based on science, but on something much more human. She noticed that the forger's noble women, especially in his courtly scenes, were different. They have a sweet, sentimental expression, but more importantly, look at their fashion. They often display a prominent décolletage, a low-cut dress designed to be alluring. Now, let me show you an authentic noble woman from the 15th century. Notice the difference? The fashion is austere, almost severe. The beauty is formal and spiritual. The forger wasn't painting the 15th century. He was painting a fantasy of it, tailored on the sensual tastes of his own era, the Parisian Belle Epoque. This was the first crack in the perfect lie. Number 2. The logical disconnect. This is the back of the page. It's a piece of liturgical text, a chant for the Feast of Pentecost. Now, ask yourself, what does a romantic game of chess have to do with one of Christianity's most sacred holidays? Absolutely nothing. The forger knew his wealthy clients were more interested in a pretty picture than reading Latin. He gambled on their ignorance. For decades, he won that bet. Number 3. The chemical fingerprint. But while style and logic can be debated, chemistry cannot. The third clue comes from the lab. Analysts discovered that forger's vibrant green pigment was Paris green, a copper arsenide compound, a beautiful but highly toxic color. The problem? Paris green was invented in 1814. It's chemically impossible for a 15th century artist to have used it. The forger, working in his Parisian studio around 1900, simply used the best materials available to him, never imagining that one day science will be able to expose his 400-year lie. Number 4. The smoking gun. For years, experts wondered how he could invent such complex medieval scenes from scratch. The answer is he didn't. This is an illustration from a popular, mass-produced history book published in 1874. The forger's secret weapon wasn't ancient knowledge, it was a modern library. He was a master collagist, a brilliant thief, lifting compositions directly from history books of his own time and passing them off as lost medieval masterpieces. This wasn't just a forgery, it was the greatest, most audacious act of artistic plagiarism in history. With the deception unmasked, one final mystery remains. Who was he? Decades of research have pointed to one main suspect, an artist active in Paris around 1900. But there is no definitive proof. His true identity remains a secret, a ghost, just like the master he invented. But this leaves us with an even bigger question, a question that challenges the very concept of art. We've spent all this time proving these works are fake, but our own eyes deceived us. They moved us. They are technically brilliant and have their own consistent style. So, if a fake is so perfect, it's considered a masterpiece, does it truly stop being a work of art? Or perhaps our Spanish forger, in the act of his deception, became the very artist he was pretending to be?